And we're live. Welcome back to Home of Fight. I'm JJ. I'm here with Mitch McKee ahead of his fight against Sergio Pettis next week, PFL Chicago. So I just want to start off, main event in Chicago. What does that mean to you?
It's pretty awesome. I'm from just outside of Minneapolis, so it's not too far away from there, and I'll have a lot of family and friends that'll be supporting me at the arena. So yeah, it's to be debuting and getting a main event spot's pretty special. It shows that they believe in me and they really want to push me. The PFL does, and yeah, I'm ready to show them that they made the right choice.
For sure. So obviously it's a big name with the Pettis legacy. Does that add any fire to the fight itself or not really?
Yeah, I mean, I've watched, before I even knew I was going to go to the PFL or knew I was fighting Sergio. I've watched his fights in the past, and kind of been, you know, I've seen quite a few of his fights just organically, just watching, and yeah. So, I mean, I just approach it as I just got to lock in more and make sure I'm prepared, and which I've done and I am. So yeah, just helps me just lock in and focus, and it's easier to put together a lot of hard weeks of training when you got to fight someone like him.
For sure. So obviously you got 6 finishes. You're undefeated, 10-0. What's your ideal scenario for 2026?
Ideally, we go get a finish next weekend, and we get a title fight later this year. That's what my goal is, and that's what I'm going to be going in there to do. And I think the reason I say go get a finish next week, because I think that's what really puts a stamp on the title talk. Since it's vacant right now, I'm fighting the number one contender. I go finish him, and then I there's no way to deny me a title shot later this year.
For sure. He's coming off an insane win himself over Magomedov, that spinning
Yep.
back elbow. That's insane. With a win over Pettis in an insane way, do you think that your name could be even propelled further?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like I think I get a win or finish, next week, and that's where I think I can go get a title shot right away. I don't know who it necessarily be against, but I know Stotts is fighting on the same card, so maybe
Mhm.
against Stotts if he wins, and or maybe Magomedov or anyone. I don't care, but I think getting a statement victory next weekend gives me a definitely a title shot later this year.
So obviously this is your first fight inside the PFL, first 5 rounder inside the PFL, not your first 5 rounder ever. But
It's
is
only
there
three.
any? There's
It's
going to be three
three.
rounds.
Yeah.
That's
They
better.
switched. Yeah. They switched this year. They're only doing 3 round main events other than title fights.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is that
Yeah.
is that is that easier for you then?
Honestly, I don't care either way. Honestly, I think five maybe would benefit me more just because you have more time to wrestle them and wear them down, and then.
Yeah.
But I don't care either way. Obviously, I've never fought a 5 round fight, but um, I don't care either way. You know what I mean? A fight's a fight. They just determine how long the fight's going to be, and then I'll fight it.
You just mentioned your wrestling. My colleague Jake, he just interviewed Pettis last night, and he had a lot of praise and claim for your wrestling, saying that obviously it was one of your best attributes. What would you say in terms of your opponent? What are his best attributes in terms of skill?
Oh, I'd say definitely his distance management on the feet. Staying. He's a very good counter striker, so he's good at, you know, if you overextend, he's good at pulling out and countering. Um, and then obviously, the tricky stuff like spinning elbows, spinning back kicks, um, stuff like that. And yeah, I think he is pretty good on his back. At if you're in his guard, he's got sneaky little like triangles and stuff. He's always trying to build back to his feet. It's not like you're gonna just take him down and hold him down easily. He's gonna be always trying to build back to his feet. But yeah, I think on the feet, definitely his striking is very technical. So I think I just got to pressure him forward, put him against the cage so he can't do that pull out counters, and then look to get to my takedowns, and then use that to strike from there.
For sure. All right, let's have a little fun here. What is your favorite submission?
Favorite submissions, probably just a rear naked.
Just keeping it simple.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I don't get too tricky with my submissions. They're pretty basic.
if it ain't
But
broke, don't
basic
fix it, right?
basic wins. Basic wins.
For sure. And what's your favorite striking move?
Um, I'd probably say like for me personally, or just like to watch someone do. Like for me,
It could be both, honestly. What you like to do the most and what you like to watch the most.
yeah. I mean, I like just your basic 1, 2, 3, or maybe like a jab, uppercut, hook. But I love watching like when people set up like nasty head kicks, like when people like because you can see them setting it up like
Hmm.
body, leg kick, and then next thing you know, it's coming up top. Those are just I love watching them because of the fact that, like I said, like it's always they set it up just so perfectly, like making them think it's gonna be body, and then coming upstairs, it's and then obviously, yeah, that's I think my favorite to watch for sure.
Yeah, you set it up and then you go ahead with the question mark kick when they don't expect it.
Or not, it
I
doesn't even have
feel.
to be a question mark, but just like you kick someone in the body enough times that
Hmm.
this hand drops a little bit, and then next thing you know, instead of it, you don't necessarily have to like question mark it, but if you kick them enough in the body and that hand comes down, all you gotta do is just go up over top, and it's yeah, it's pretty awesome to watch when people do that.
For sure. So break it down to me. You win this fight, you have a dominant statement, perhaps a finish. What do you do immediately after the fight? Once you leave the arena, you're all ready to go. What do you do?
So like after the fight, I'll
Yeah, to
probably
celebrate.
yeah, yeah. Well, my wife and my 2-month old son will be there, so I'll probably go hang out with them. Probably go get some food and just usually, I mean, after most of my fights, we just like we'll grab a case of beer and then go sit in the hotel room. And most of the time, like my coaches and my wife and I and my mom and my brother, we all just sit in the hotel room, drink some beers, and just talk. And usually we end up staying up till like 5 in the morning, which Dieter always usually gets a flight at like his flight's at like 7 a.m. So he usually just stays up, goes to his flight. Um, Sometimes I don't even sleep that night because it's hard to sleep sometimes after a fight. But yeah, we usually just hang out, just grab some food, grab some beer, hit the hotel room, and just all hang out together.
What beer? What beer is your type?
I mean, my favorite's Modelo, but I definitely try to drink more like Bush Light and stuff like lighter beer, just because you drink. I I'm just the kind of person that I can drink like 12 beers like that. Like it doesn't matter if it's water, beer, coffee. Like I just drink liquid fast. So the carbs really catch up to you when you're drinking 12 Modelo's. So I try to keep it
Yeah.
at like a light beer, like Bush Light or Coors Light or something like that.
No, I feel you for sure. Let's talk a little bit about the PFL. There's some rumors that they may be changing their name to Bellator. What do you think of that?
I mean, I mean I like the PFL name, but I mean Bellator also had a good brand. I think it's brand awareness. I think more people were aware of Bellator before it got closed down or bought up by them, and maybe they just want to go back to that because there is a base in a Bellator base. Um, but I don't know. Maybe they'll change it to something completely different. I have no idea, but um, because I see where they're coming from, like with the new executives, new management, like they want to just hit a restart and build with the new team they got and kind of show everyone that we're not the old PFL anymore. We're here in this new team. But I think either way, the name is is what it is. I think it's more the fighters, the roster you have, the fights you put on, the production like the quality of your production, and I think everything's going on the up and up in those areas for sure with PFL.
For sure. I agree with you. So, a few questions about another fight going on in the same weight class. We talked about it briefly. Rafian Stotsi's facing Kovalev in the same card. How do you think that fight goes down?
Honestly, I haven't watched Kovalev a lot, but I've watched quite a few of Stotts' fights. So I'm not. I would assume is Kovalev a wrestler, grappler.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, it's an interesting matchup for sure, just because Stops is a wrestler himself too. So, but I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched a lot of Kovalev, but um, I think Stotts can pull it out for sure if he can defend takedowns and keep it on the feet and then strike from there. But like I said, I haven't watched a ton of Kovalev, so I have no idea. He might just
for
be an
sure.
absolute hammer on top, and I have no idea what I'm talking about.
So you obviously train at Kill Cliff MMA. What has been the difference maker making your camp there, training there, and getting prepared for fights there?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been there since day one, since I started fighting. And it's been a slow progress. It's like a slow progression over the last almost coming up on 5 years. And yeah, the first like couple years it's just tough because you're trying to learn just the basics of the basic boxing, just a 1-2, your footwork. Like you're trying to learn boxing at the same time, kickboxing at the same time, jujitsu at the same time. Like the first couple years are tough to get all the basics down, but then once you get it down, the nitty gritty, like the little nuances of the sport and then putting everything together as one as MMA. That's kind of the fun part, and that's really been the last couple of years having like Robbie Lawler at the helm and um, Dieter Navarro and Herbert Burns has been doing a lot more coaching recently at our place, and so those guys are really good at they talk to each other, they walk around, they help you in each little position, and I feel like I've grown so much over the last like year or two. Um, the growth has definitely been it was slow right away, and now it's just exponentially getting better because of those guys, the system they've put together over the last year or two.
Well, Mitch, thank you so much for your time. Is there any message you want to leave for your fans ahead of your fight next week?
Definitely tune in. It's going to be exciting. Like I said, my goal is to always go into the fight with 100% effort and a great attitude, and I'm going to give it everything I have. So I think that's what makes for an exciting fight. When you see guys just standing there, not even trying to hit each other, that's not very exciting to watch. But I'm going to make sure that there's some violence involved, and you're definitely going to want to watch it.
Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate your time. Make sure you
Yeah.
guys tune in PFL next week in Chicago. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.